Hello guys, welcome back. Today I'm here to share with y'all new lesbian couples of 2026 couples that I will highly recommend you all to go ahead, go watch, go follow, and go support. But before we actually break down the list, please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. So basically, the first couple is Juliet and Matilda, and you guys can follow their story on the show that is called The Cooking Academy. Yes, it is a German soap opera and it gained a lot of popularity recently, especially because of the relationship between the two ladies. Juliet is a passionate chef and is the sister of Etienne, who also has a mega role on the show. On the other hand, we have Matilda. She is a chef. She's basically a teacher at the academy. Their relationship is a center drama because it involves teacher and student dynamic, leading to professional risk, blackmail, and attempts to keep their affection a secret because it doesn't, or in this case they don't want it to be basically a discussion at the school. It's like out of the academy, out of the cooking academy, they want to be a couple, they want to be together, but while they are working they want to keep it professional and keep it strict, and they just don't want nobody in their business. So it's kind of a dynamic between, loving somebody but also having to have a professional relationship with them. This one has one season available and it is available to watch on Disney Plus. It's actually really, really good, and hopefully very soon I will be doing a review on the relationship because I have to tell you I like it so far of what I have seen. Moving forward, we have Ronda and Queen. Yes, this one is School Spirit. In this case, in season 3, in the Paramount Plus, yes, Paramount Plus series, Ronda and Queen share a significant relationship that involves from a deep platonic bond into a romantic one during season 3. In this case, Rwanda initially helps Queen to break out of a very dangerous situation that she was in when it comes to ghost, obsessively relief. There find moments Rwanda supports, in this case to help Queen to find the courage to finally, be herself and just accept her for who she is. And obviously, when one thing leads to another, you can basically see the couple starting to get very close to one another, spending more time together, supporting each other, having a platonic friendship that actually ends up leading up to being something a little bit more romantic. And yes, this one, season 3, is available, like I already said, on Paramount Plus, and it so far got extremely, extremely, extremely good, reviews. I had no existence about their situation until I was doing my research for this list. So hopefully soon, I can come with a very nice review for you all because, like I said, the dynamic between the two looks really good because, like I said, it was a friendship that later on turned up to be something a little bit more romantic, and I love that. Moving forward, we have Paloma and Smith. Yes, this one is a movie and it's called Twisted, and it's a 2026 horror thriller. Paloma and her girlfriend Smith run a real estate scam in New York City. They rent higher tenant properties through short-term services like Airbnb, and then, pose as agents to sell or lease those same properties to basically mark and then later on disappear once they get the money. Their romantic relationship is the center of the partnership, with some critics noting the film being highlighted their chemistry. So basically, they both do the same job, but obviously, things take a very big turn once they try to basically, in this case, rob somebody that they had no business robbing when it comes to a very specific doctor that ends up getting his revenge. And obviously, this movie is a horror thriller, and things for the couple went from 0 to 100 real quick. But one thing I have to say is that you can clearly see that Smith wanted to get out of the business. She wanted, for them to stop doing what they wanted to do. But Paloma wanted one last job so they can move forward. And obviously, that ended up not going as planned. I have a full review regarding their relationship on the channel, so please go watch. And it's listed on Prime Video and Apple TV Store as well. So go ahead there and you guys will find more details. Moving forward, we have Amelia and Tony. Yes, this is a new couple that's currently developing and is between Amelia and Tony on Grey's Anatomy season 22. Amelia enters a new romantic relationship with Dr. Tony. Their connection began way back when they were actually at medical school together as classmates. During a conversation that the two actually ends up having when they reconnect at, in this case at the hospital, you can clearly see that Tony actually ends up telling, in this case, Amelia, that the reason why she was ignoring her is because, back then at school, she actually had this huge crush on her and she didn't want to overstep the boundaries. Later on, obviously, Amelia also confessed to Tony that she also had a crush on her. So one thing escalated to another, and to actually ends up, getting into this very, very, very passionate tension and actually end up having a very steamy hook up. And from that point forward, you can just see them trying to figure out what's going to happen since they already had the intimate moment together. So now we kind of will have to see what will happen with their relationship. Will it escalate to more? Will it stay to just, a cozy moment that they thought they needed to have? Will they actually end up dating? So there's a lot that we will still have to see, but so far so good. I definitely be enjoying the storyline a lot. So let me know your thoughts. Do you guys have hope for this couple, or do you guys feel like we're just gonna get, nothing from them? Moving forward, we have Katherine and Yanni. In this case, CW and Yanni. The movie is called Influencers. The story begins with CW living in southern France with her girlfriend Yanni. They are celebrating their 1 year anniversary. The film depicts the relationship attempting to leave her dark past behind to live a stable romantic life. Their peace is interrupted by influencer named Charlotte, whose behavior triggers CW back into her old ways. Yanni ends up finding out the truth about CW, and things end up very badly for them. The movie is available to watch on Shudder and AMC Plus. So basically, you can see the CW, aka in this case, Catherine. She wanted to start a new life because, if you guys don't know, the second part of the movie Influences is actually a spin-off of part one. So in part two, like she can see her just developing a relationship, just trying to start fresh. But obviously, her past and her own ways ends up coming back. Later on, her girlfriend ends up finding out who she really is, and that also broke the dynamic of the couple a lot because accidentally, yes, not accidentally, like just in a moment of a lot of anger, you can actually end up seeing Catherine eliminating Diani, and she actually ends up, also using her image to keep her alive. So there's just a whole lot that also goes on between these two. We have Seleni and Nadia. The movie is called Love Letter. It is set in 2014 Paris, shortly after French legalized same-sex marriage. The story follows a married lesbian couple as they prepare for the birth of their first daughter. Because Nadia is said, the one to be pregnant, Selene must navigate a complex joining legal process to gather letters in a review of, so that they can get something like a permission for them, to also adopt another kid, because, through this process, you have to have another kid in order to be legally married to another woman. This is a whole complexity. But more of the story, the movie navigates them just, being first-time parents, trying to figure out their relationship, not knowing if they are ready, because the people around them that have kids have their own ways on how they raise their kids. Some say it's very difficult, some say it's very draining. So obviously that actually ends up scaring them a lot, because like I said, it's the first time being parents. So they want to do it right while they're also going through the legal process. There's also another situation. Then also one of them have a very complex relationship with their mother. So it's a very, very realistic dynamic that goes on between the two that I have to say that I definitely did enjoy. Probably one of my favorite movies released recently when it comes to lesbian movies. So I will highly recommend you also go ahead and go watch it on movie depending on your location. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and if you guys know any other new lesbian couples that was released this year so far, please drop them down below in the comments. That will be very, very much helpful, and thank you so much for all the love and all the support. Until the next video, and goodbye.